Aloha, welcome to the Mr.G podcast. It is just before 8 a.m. Here on Monday, January 22nd. I'm coming to you from Honolulu, Hawaii, on the outskirts of Chinatown, where it's a nice and pleasant 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a lot on my mind today, as others do. Uh, a friend of mine, Spidey William Turin, has gone missing in Thailand. He's a young man, 21 years old, and he's traveled the world multiple times. He's very intelligent and very, um, uh, he's very intelligent and he's a sharp kid. He's a good dude, and he's very trustworthy and very honest. And we pray that he has a safe return wherever he's at. The news today that the authorities have been contacted and they have no word of him. The hospitals have been contacted and they have no word of him. And it's not like him to just stop uh, going online or to not contact his parents in times of distress. So let's all pray for Spidey. Let's hope that he has a safe return. He's a great human being. I've had a lot of different friends in my life, but Spidey's somebody that I could really call a friend, somebody that I could really trust. And as my twin brother Michael would put it about a friend that we had, Benny, Spidey was cool. Spidey is cool. Let's not talk about him in past tense. Spidey is cool. He's a cool person. When people are around him, even if you're just meeting him for the first time, you're like, whoa, this guy's cool. This guy's smart. This guy, like, he just is very, people are gravitated towards him. And he reminds me of a friend that I had, Benny McGee, who died too young. And he was pretty much the same way. Everybody would want to be around Benny. And he was just had a fun, interesting vibe around him. And that's why Spidey has been so successful live streaming, because people watch him and he is what you see. He does, put on a character sometimes, but um, mainly he's honest and real. And that's another reason why I trusted him. And he never betrayed that trust either the whole time he lived with me. He was extremely one of the best guests. He would clean up, except the last 2 days when he started drinking. But the other 58 days, he would clean up after himself. He was respectful, to the cats and to myself. And he was a very good worker. He showed up every morning at 3, 4 a.m. And for somebody 21 years old, asking them to wake up at 4 a.m. every day, that's a big thing. So he would do that regardless of how tired he was. And so give him credit on that. I told him if he ever wants to do it again, instead of working every day at 4 a.m., he could just work 4 or 5 days a week. And he was like, no, I want to do it every day. And I was like, I don't want you to get burned out. So, as soon as you can get back here to Hawaii, 4 or 5 days a week is plenty. So hopefully, he'll come back and hopefully he's in a safe spot. It's dangerous to travel alone. The world is a dangerous place. You never know how evil or malevolent somebody is, and you can't always just judge off of appearance or vibes. And when you're traveling alone, you don't have anybody to watch your stuff. You don't have anybody to watch your back. You don't have anybody to help translate or to look up something on your phone. And I know Spidey had instances where he would be very manic and he'd want to go here and he'd want to go there. Well, it was best to have him some sort of direction. And so we would pick a town in Hawaii, like Haleiwa, go here. And I would explain the town to him and he would go there. And, or, he went to dozens different towns all around the island and worked out good. And he agreed that it's good. Somebody like him is good to have a direction on where to go and what to do. So when he's just left to his own devices, just traveling all around Thailand, he's bound to get into some trouble. So let's just pray that he comes through and that he survives and everything. There's a famous quote by Jack Kerouac that reminds me of Spidey, and it has to do with Roman candles and how they are people are sometimes like Roman candles. The only people for me are the mad ones, the one who are mad, the Roman candles exploding like spiders across the sky. Jack Kerouac. The full quote is, the only people for me are the mad ones, the ones who are mad to live, mad to talk, mad to be saved, delirious of everything at the same time. The ones who never yawn or say a commonplace thing, but burn, burn, burn like fabulous yellow Roman candles. So that reminds me of Spidey Turin. And like I said, let's all pray that he's okay. Bob Dylan has a famous poem that I would read around when we were feeding the kitties, and it's called "Last Thoughts on Woody Guthrie." I performed it in many videos. I performed it at a poetry slam. When your head gets twisted and your mind grows numb, when you think you're too old, too young, too smart, or too dumb, when you're lagging behind or losing your place in a slow motion crawl of life's busy race, no matter what you're doing, if you start giving up, if the wine don't come to the top of your cup, if the wind's got you sideways with one hand holding on and the other starts slipping because the feeling is gone, and your train engine fire needs a new spark to catch it, and the wood's easy finding, but you're too lazy to fetch it, and your sidewalk starts curling, and the street gets too long, and you know you're walking backwards, though you know that it's wrong, and lonesome comes up as down goes the day, and tomorrow morning seems so far away, and you feel the reins of your pony are slipping, and your rope is a sliding because your hands are dripping, and your sun-decked desert and evergreen valleys turn to broken down slums and trash can alleys. And your sky cries water and your drain pipes are pouring, and the lights flashing and thunders are crashing, and the windows are rattling and breaking and the rooftops are shaking, and your whole world's a slamming and bagging, and your minutes of sun turn to hours of storm. And to yourself, you sometimes say, I never knew it was going to be this way. Why didn't they tell me the day I was born? And you start getting chills and you're jumping from sweat and you're looking for something that you ain't quite find yet. And you're knee deep in the dark water with your hands in the air, and the whole world's a watching with a window peak stare. And your good gal leaves and she's a long gone a flying, and your heart feels sick like fish when they're frying. And your jackhammer falls from your hand to your feet, and you need it badly, but it lays on the street. And your bell's banging loudly, but you can't hear its beat, and your eyes turn filthy from the side blinding dirt, and you think your ears might have been hurt, and you figured you failed in yesterday's rush when you were faked out and fooled while facing a four flush. And all the time you were holding three queens. It's making you mad. It's making you mean, like the middle of Life magazine bouncing around on a pinball machine. And there's something on your mind you want to be saying. There's someplace ought to be hearing. But it's trapped on your tongue and sealed in your head. And it bothers you badly when you're laying in bed. And no matter how hard you try, you just can't say it. And you're scared to your soul, you just might forget it. And your eyes get swimmy from the tears in your head. And your pillows of feathers turn to blankets of lead, and the lion's mouth open and you're staring at his teeth, and his jaws start closing with you underneath, and you're flat on your belly with your hands tied behind, and you wish you'd never taken that last detour sign, and you say to yourself, just what am I doing on this road I'm walking, on this trail I'm turning, on this curve I'm hanging, on this pathway I'm strolling, in this space I'm taking, in this air I'm inhaling? Am I mixed up too much? Am I mixed up too hard? Why am I walking? Where am I running? What am I saying? What am I knowing? On this guitar that I'm playing, on this banjo I'm frailing, on this mandolin I'm strumming, and the song I'm singing, and the tune I'm humming, and the words I'm writing, and the words that I'm thinking, and this ocean of hours and all the time drinking. Who am I helping? What am I breaking? What am I giving? What am I taking? But you try with your whole soul best never to think these thoughts, never to let them get these thoughts gain ground or make your heart pound. But then again, you know they're around, just waiting for a chance to slip and drop down. Because sometimes you hear them when the night times comes creeping, and you fear that you might catch you sleeping, and you jump from your bed in your last chapter of dreaming, and you can't remember for the best of you thinking if that was you in the dream that was screaming, and you know that it's something special you need, and it's no liquor in the land to stop your brain from bleeding. And you need something special. Yeah, you need something special. All right. You need a fast flying train on a tornado track to shoot you someplace and shoot you back. You need a cyclone wind on a steam engine howler that's been banging and booming and blowing forever, that knows your troubles 100 times over. You need a Greyhound bus that don't bar no race, that won't laugh at your looks, your voice, or your face. And by any number of bets in the book, we'll be rolling long after the bubblegum craze. You need something to open a new door, to show you something you never seen before, but overlooked 100 times before. You need something to open your eyes. You need something to make it known that it's you and no one else that owns that spot that you're standing, that space that you're sitting, that the world ain't got you beat, that it ain't got you lit. It ain't got you crazy no matter how many times you got kicked. You need something special, all right? You need something special to give you hope, but hope's just a word that maybe you said, maybe you heard on a windy corner around a wide-out curve. But that's what you need, man, and you need it bad. And your trouble is you know it too good because you look and you start getting the chills because you can't find it on a dollar bill. And it ain't on Macy's windowsill. It ain't on no rich kid's roadmap. And it ain't no fat kid's fraternity house. And it ain't it made in no Hollywood wheat germ. And it ain't on that dim lit stage with the half-wit comedian on it ranting and raving, taking your money, and you think it's funny. No, you can't find it in no nightclub, no yacht club, and it ain't on the seats of a supper club. And you sure as hell bound to tell nobody how hard you rub, you ain't gonna find it on your ticket stub. No, it ain't in the rumors people telling you. It ain't in the pimple lotion people selling you. It ain't in the card box house or any movie star's blouse. And you can't find it on the golf course. Uncle Remus can't tell you. Neither can Santa Claus. It ain't in the cream puff hairdo or the cotton candy clothes. And it ain't in the dime store dummies or the bubblegum goons. It ain't in the marshmallow noises or the chocolate cake voices. They come knocking and tapping on Christmas wrapping, saying, "Ain't I pretty? Ain't I cute? Look at my skin shine. Look at my skin glow. Look at my skin laugh. Look at my skin cry." When you can't tell if these people have gotten the insides. They're so pretty with their ribbons and bows. Nah, you'll not know now or any other day. Find it on the doorsteps made out of paper mache, and inside the people made of molasses that every day buy a new pair of sunglasses. It ain't in the 50-star generals or the flipped out phonies who turn you in for a tenth of a penny, who breathe and burp and bend and crack it before you count from 1 to 10, do it all over again, but this time behind your back, my friend. The ones that wheel and deal and whirl and twirl and play games with each other in their sandbox world. And you can't find it in the no talent fools that run around gallant to make all the rules for the ones that actually got talent. And it ain't the ones that ain't got no talent but think they do and think that they're fooling you. The ones that jump on the wagon just for a while because they know it's in style to get their kicks, get out quick, and make all kind of money and chicks. And you tell yourself and you throw your hat down saying, "Christ, do I gotta be like that? Ain't nobody here know where I'm at? Ain't nobody here that knows how I feel? Good God Almighty, this stuff ain't real." But no, man, that ain't your game. That ain't your race. You can hear your name, but you can't see your face. You got to look some other place. And where do you look for this hope you're seeking? Where do you look for this lamp that's a burning? Where do you look for this oil well gushing? Where do you look for this candle that's a glowing? Where do you look for this hope that you know is out there somewhere? And your feet can only walk down two kinds of roads. Your eyes can only look through two kinds of windows. Your nose can only smell two kinds of hallways. You can touch and twist in two kinds of doorknobs. You can either go to the church of your choice or you can go to Brooklyn State Hospital. You'll find God in the church of your choice. You'll find Woody Guthrie in Brooklyn State Hospital. And though it's only my opinion, I may be right or wrong, you'll find them both in the Grand Canyon at sundown. That was a Bob Dylan poem for his friend Woody Guthrie. And it's a favorite poem of mine as well. Okay, let's all pray that Spidey has a safe return. And I'll end the podcast early today instead of talking about Vivek Ramaswamy being the 38-year-old vice president candidate, or why I'm skeptical about aliens. We'll save that for another day. And today, let's just send positive vibes Spidey's way. All right. Thank you for listening. The Mr. G podcast is available wherever you listen to podcasts. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts or Amazon Podcasts or Spotify. And full episodes are uploaded in their entirety at twitter.com/Gregory Brandt and youtube.com/Gregory Brandt. Follow me on Twitter. I go live every day, twitter.com/Gregory Brandt. And everybody have a good day or a good evening, wherever you're listening from. Let's all appreciate that we're here experiencing this beautiful miracle called life. We're on a speck of dust on the corner of the Milky Way galaxy, slinging around a star going 1,000,000 miles per hour. The Milky Way galaxy, we're on the edge of it. It's 100,000 light years across. There's all this different cosmic things happening out there in the universe. And we're lucky that we're here. It's a miracle that we're all here. So let's appreciate that. And let's have a good day. Aloha.